Hello comrades and peers. Today I want to talk about the Black Powder or Warmaster command system. This system was developed by Rick Priestley and can be found in many miniature wargames. This system has drawn the same criticism since its invention, but for me this is more a point of view question. The deeper meaning of this simple system is overlooked and then mostly undermined by house rules. Or in the words of Microsoft, this isn't a bug, it's a feature. Most people coming from the Games Workshop range are used to give their troops exact commands, to navigate their troops by an inch on the battlefield. Modern computer games take the same aim. The Total War series allows you to order your troops exactly as you like. And most people rant about bad programming when your unit marches in the wrong direction. We are used to having our orders carried out and we know exactly where our troops are. But that must not be the case. If you ever participated in a game where you were in command, but other players carried out your orders, you know that this implementation can turn out differently than planned. Players of Paradox games, like Hearts of Iron, can send their troops into regions, but they don't know how their troops will attack, or even if they are still marching to the front. Coming back to the Rick Priestley method of commandment. It consists of 3 rule elements. The first is mostly rolling 2d6 against a target number of 7 to 10 to get your units into action. The second, in short distance to the enemy, the so-called initiative range, the unit can do basic things of their own. And the third, and most controversial, there is a chance for further orders being executed. A first glimpse of the system appears in Warhammer Fantasy Battle 2nd edition, Ravening Hordes. To make a more complex maneuver, the unit has to roll with 2d6 against its leadership value, or stop. The first time your unit didn't exactly maneuver as ordered, but its birth comes from Warmaster. To command a unit or brigade of troops, you roll against your command value, and if you succeed, you can give further orders, each with a cumulative -1 per additional order. The system was adopted later by Blitzkrieg Commander. These could result in some extreme chains of orders. Therefore, the number of orders were limited to 3 in Warmaster engines. With Black Powder, the next iteration of this command system evolved. Instead of multiple command tests, only one roll is made, and the margin of success can give you a second or third order. This is also the system for pike and shot. This second and third movement order is a breaking point for some players of the rules. I've read battle reports where Sarmatian cavalry formations crossed half the table in one turn to descend upon their surprised enemy. To understand and evaluate the command system correctly, you have to think less GW and a bit more two-fed laddies. The command system simulates the fog of war. Not only the enemy units are covered, but also the exact position of your own troops. You represent the commanding general, not an all-omniscient force. You do not fully control your brigadier generals, nor your troops. The position of your miniatures on the board is a representation of space which they approximately occupy. But it isn't the exact point. So stop measuring every inch, stay by the rules and give a more descriptive order. If you think of a unit as a mere approach to a location, the system immediately makes more sense. A command roll which results in more than one movement means the unit was nearer to its second target of march than it was expected. A few explanatory examples. You roll for orders with a command value of 8 and, surprise, roll a 9. Now your unit stays in place. But we can imagine that the unit had not yet reached its location, or accidentally headed for another, and now marched back to obey your orders. The same if you roll a second or third order. It is implausible that the unit is now racing across a field. Rather, the responsible officer had already led his troops ahead before he received order, because he recognized possibilities or a better position. Interpreted this way, closer leadership from above is always associated with lower command value, and initiative in lower ranks with a higher value. From this point of view, one should definitely use the blunder rule. It completes the system. This is also the reason why you can still fire after several march orders. It was not a quick march, but anticipation of orders, or favorable circumstances that brought the unit into place. Do you think this interpretation is unrealistic? On the 100-day campaign, 1815, the Prince d'Orange converged on Courtrai instead of assembling around Nivelles. This was no blunder, but a later good order roll by Wellington. 3 moves, or with other words, the Prince was already at Courtrai instead of marching off from Nivelles. So, what's your opinion on this matter? We all mostly like control we exert. But it gets exciting when we try to stay in control and succeed against fate. If you follow my view on the subject, you could give different brigade commanders different personal preferences. Here some examples. Could be fun to test this. Any discussion or comments on this topic are welcome. Till then.